Good morning, good evening, good day, everybody. I am Tashi, and I am back with more Heroes of Justice. Let's see where we left off. Okay, so last time we and the team met Mumbo Jumbo for the first time, and they failed. We determined to separate him from his head and won. And some of the team has been whisked away by him, becoming the assistant for the next new show. And White was pretty much unconscious. What is gonna happen to our heroes? We will see. We will see. I'm sorry for not being able to do it last time, but there were some problems with real life that I couldn't ignore. Just like now, I can't ignore that I have trouble breathing because of the stupid flowering season of one tree that I am allergic to. But I will power through it. I will have some reading done. I'm pretty sure we will not finish this one today, because it is a long chapter and we just barely scratched the surface. But let's continue where we left off. My stomach to Tommy's head, and the touch of cool cocaine within her back. With a groan, she pushed herself up with her elbows and opened her eyes. A quick look told her that she wasn't bleeding, and only spotted some minor bruising. Raven was currently speaking to someone on her telephone, and the sound of sirens on the street below told Rice that they weren't too far from the bank. Also, I realized that we are on the wrong thing. There we go. Now you can see the whole paragraph. God! She groaned again as she forced herself to her feet. Raven stole a glance towards the heiress and walked over to her. She then raised a helping hand to help her study her, who gratefully took it when she appeared to wobble. She just woke up. Raven continued to speak into a communicator, by simultaneously putting it on speaker, erecting a silencing spell around them. Good to hear. White, how are you doing? Nightwing asked. She's filled with concern. White rolled her shoulder to test it, and upon finding its performance satisfactory, turned to Raven. I'll be fine. Nothing a bit of rest won't fix, she admitted. Yeah, it won't, but you don't have the luxury of resting. Right, your guy's aura acts as a limited healing factor. Raven said it was settled during the fight. It was, Rice frowned, and glanced to a pillar at me. How much do you have? Rice quickly tapped the side of her mask, bringing up her team's aura readout. The rest of her team and Jennifer's aura was nowhere to be seen, while hers was hovering at a dangerous 10%. Her aura bar was blinking red in emphasis, and Rice couldn't have but frown. Not much, and it will take a few hours for it to come back. Rice begrudgingly admitted. It was hours that they didn't have, and Nightwing's groan told her that he found the same thing. Damn it! He gasped before falling silent, allowing the sound of his motorcycle to cut through the speaker's audio. I'm still an hour out, but we need to find Mumbo now. There is no telling what he might do to our friend, and I am not wanting to find out. I'm coming through, but immediately in the car, unwilling to let her diminished aura result simply destroy your friend. Even though it might at her, it's something not right, and Andrew was smiling to himself on the other side of the phone. Not to hear getting hit hard, but don't keep you down. Now we get going. You don't have any time to lose. Once you find Mumbo, be careful. Trust me, we know, Kramer replied. Keep me posted. Let's ring out. With that, the computer clicked off, and they were outside. I shook her hand before putting the device away. The only one that turned to face right, who looked back at her. Are you sure you're okay? Kramer asked, her eyes showing her concern, while her voice remained stoic. I should be asking you the same thing. You think it is much worse than me. I'm tougher than I look. Guess I can say the same about you. Both girls smiled at each other, before becoming serious once again. I pulled up a map of Jam City on her HUD, while even close enough to the top of the nearby rooftop of the tower, to get a better view of the surroundings. I'm not seeing any new police activity, I spotted, and tapped her chin. As she began to hum in thought. Even though Sam began scanning the area, and before long, both girls were scanning the rooftops to an even higher vantage point. Okay, think, Vice muttered to herself, as she felt Haven lift her up towards her. Although she could feel her aura suddenly increase, having to use her semblance now would only slow her recovery, and she needed all of it if she wanted to take Mumbo down. Her thoughts drifted back towards the fight itself, specifically towards Mumbo's mannerism and behavior. It was quite animating, disturbingly so, in fact. Otherwise, that she had managed to obtain a decent insight into a man's character. He is very close to human torturing, but the difference of actually having power. He was a showman, obviously, a man who loved the spotlight more than anything else. She suspected that outside of his obvious psychosis, he robbed the bank not because he wanted the money, but he wanted the attention. He also said that he had a show to analyze soon. And it was then that Vice turned her hand up to look at Haven. Haven? Where is the entertainment district? Good idea. It turned out, Jameson's Mother Front contained a large assortment of activities who want to enjoy. Arcades, movie theaters, iPad beaches, and an array of shops along the boardwalk. There was even a circus in town, complete with a giant big top tent sitting on the pier. A prime location for an egomaniacal supervillain wanting to stage an epic comeback. Colonel Weiss and Raven were scouting out the area on top of the nearby radio tower. We were skying for any medical signatures, and Weiss' focus remained glued to any sign of her teammates, transporters. So far, none were appearing, and she couldn't help but worry. Don't worry, they'll be fine, Raven comforted the girl, having felt her emotional distress. Weiss sighed to herself, then looked back up at Raven. Has something like this happened to before you leave, guys? He asked. You turned us into circus animals one time. Oh yeah, that happened. Raven immediately answered. Turned me into white money. Yeah, white is definitely not your color. You will be surprised, Raven joked. The mice couldn't have much more. A vision of white glow Raven appeared in Vice's mind, and she had to admit it did suit her. I think that was the area where she was actually becoming to go solo. But now was not the time to focus on fashion. Now was the time to focus on their mission. Vice took her eyes on her teammates' non-existent signals and working on the big top 10. If she was betting woman, that would mean the place Mumbo would strike next. Given how Raven was staring intensely at the same structure, she likely agreed. Vice thought for a moment, glancing down at her suit, then up towards Raven, an idea beginning to form in her head. What's up? Raven asked, feeling how intense Vice was thinking. After a moment, Vice nodded to herself, then looked back up at Raven. I have an idea. I'm not certain you are gonna like it, Vice said, but Raven stared back at her stoically. I think me sitting out around and doing nothing. She floated back down to Vice's level and to the top of the roof. What is it? Mumbo was in the bank that Simon's room had just left. It can't be a coincidence. He had to have known where they were. To me, that means he doesn't want us around for whatever he's planning. Makes sense. Out of our one, we would be the most liable to stop him. Exactly. He likely knows we are here somewhere. So if he thinks we are gone, we can catch him off guard. Man's voice suddenly finished the thought. Vice yelled as he was turned around and prepared to test with Mirror, only for the man to have a spare in the blow with his armored gauntlet, and whisked the rapier out of her hand. The voice light went into Roman. It was then that Vice noticed the man looked awfully familiar, upon seeing the dark blue material on his chest. He realized exactly who the person was. Nightwing! Raven greeted her leader, sounding almost gleeful. Nightwing smiled at the half-demon, then turned to look at suddenly embarrassed Vice with a smirk. We want to see Mike metalized her. Need to work on your spatial awareness, he advised, and the embarrassed blush on Vice's face suddenly deepened. Good to see you two again, though. I knew you were here, Raven said, only for Nightwing to smile knowingly at the comment. Sure you did. Man turned serious as he knelt down to the roof stage. Raven and Vice following his lead. From behind his mask, Nightwing obtained a readout of the highest electrical systems, security cameras, and even gas and water power plants. He narrated this information to Vice's mask, even following along with her magic, then rubbed his chin in thought. Alright, here's what we are gonna do, he started. Raven, teleport us out of here. Raven did as instructed, teleporting the zero into nearby dark alleyway. Using her magic, and the security cameras looking into the direction and the immediate turn to setting. And once the coast was clear, I made that to face most of them. Can you make us look like we are wearing our normal clothes? Yes. And a moment later, a pop machine surrounded the three of them, and matched their costumes and made them look like their normal attire. But Raven's normal attire is her not normal attire. There were some noticeable differences, and Vice noted that should Lest should she move the fabric too much, the illusion shattered. But it would suffice for now. He also noticed that Raven appeared to be insane, and went to check on her before Raven stopped her with a upraised palm. I'll be fine. Raven nodded, and looked back over to Wise and Raven, who nodded back at him. They then walked out of the alleyway and toward the stand. Once we find our seats, we will have to wait until the mom arrives. Was he not? We are not going to go in immediately. Why not? I said, wanting more than anything to get her friend back. But he shook his head. If we are to have any chance of stopping him, we have to strike at the opportune time. Not before, and certainly not after. Trust me, I don't like it any more than you do. Rice gold, before utterly considering. As much as she didn't like it, he did have a point. They tried to overpower Mumbo before, and the bank outnumbered the maniacs 13 to 1. And yet, they still lost. Now they only had 3 of them. Trying to find Mumbo in a direct assault would only span disaster. They had to play this right. Vice's recommendations were suddenly heartened, and a group of young women spotted the trio. Upon seeing Nightwing in a similar garb, they all screamed shrilly. Oh my gosh, is that Dick Grayson? One of the girls screamed. He went gold and Dick immediately put a forced smile while waving at the girls. Vice, meanwhile, had her eyes widened slightly, having recognized the name. Sure, the detective had mentioned Dick's name before. He had assumed that was simply a nickname. Dick was apparently shorthand for Richard. Why that was the case, she didn't know. But they never told her his last name. Knowing what it was now, told her why. Richard Dick Grayson was, after all, the son of Bruce Wayne, who adopted him after his parents were technically killed in the mob of him during the last Flying Grayson's circus performance. He had heard of the man back at the Watchtower, as well as the company that his family's name was plastered across. By all accounts, it was highly successful and highly ethical a company, which was on the many philanthropic events throughout the country, and especially in Gotham City. The man himself, despite his playboy ways, was a low bright spot in the crime cesspool. He couldn't help but admire the man. But it would be nearly impossible for someone like Bruce Wayne not to notice his adopted son was a costume vigilante. Sure, he sometimes gave over now of being a rich kid with no day job, and is guided by Louis Lane before she, funnily enough, dated him for a time and got to know him better. But why seriously adopted he was dumb enough to not notice his son was Nightwing? Thinking about it more, I remember that Nightwing used to be the first Robin for Batman, having fought alongside him for many years, and even doing Darkseid War. Apparently, the young boy even ran over Calibac with the Batmobile at one point. But then, by the question as to how the young Dick Grayson managed to find the time to meet the Batman in the first place. For what she remembered, he had appeared roughly a year after his adaptation, and there was no way the young boy could have managed to find the time to meet, hide, and become Robin. Unless... Oh my god! Wise muttered under her breath. But she was broken out of her thoughts, and the young woman swarming the 3 of them. They began to murmur near incoherently, but Dick attempted to calm them down. Ladies, please. I would love to stay and chat. He then suddenly pulled Wise and Raven close to him. I'm taking these lovely ladies to circus this evening. Realizing what Nick was doing, Wise immediately began to play along. Come on, Nick, let's go inside. I want to see the funny animals. She ran in the sound of because when the girl voice, by fluttering her eyelashes at him, falling closer close to him. Meanwhile, he made story as ever. But she didn't give the same woman much in that girl. Oh please, he gave you much better time than those two. One of the women, I don't can't pronounce, said it in a salty tone. The two girls next to her giggled, something mailing that at them. I love that. Said Tony, while holding them close by the shoulder, sending the three women aback. Now, if you will excuse us. The two basically walked past the three women, just sparing them a second thought. When they exited the line of sight, they let go of one another while continuing to walk towards the tent. Sorry about that, they told her two words. Don't worry about it, I supplied with a wave of hand. I knew what you were doing. You didn't catch out of the panic grass, they nodded. Prior experience? I stunned her face, her to face Nick before responding. My father wasn't as supporting as yours. Ah, he seemed to understand why she said that meaning, but didn't say anything more. Those three were annoying, and empty-handed. Raven complained. Oh, obviously. You didn't need empathy ability to see that. The three chuckled among themselves, and they entered the line into the band. The line was long, but at the same time, it moved quickly, and they soon found themselves at the ticket booth. Hey, would it be possible for me and my friends here? They stated by what we are pulling Raven. And Wise close to him. Wise speaking easy as he did. Where the pirate moves. The booth operator, a young teenager with freckles and glasses, stared at them with a blank expression, but diving in his crash. That's $500 each, sir. Wow, that's expensive, but it's a private booth. And it's a rich man. Of course. With a smile, they reached into his pocket and gave the boy his credit card. And a moment later, the boy handed him back along with his ticket. He directed them to the package on the left, bumbling under his breath something along the line of Dan raised voice, and the trio walked upstairs with their arms intertwined. Here the appearances they played their date card with loud laughs and shrill voices, but once they entered the private booth, they immediately stopped the act and separated. Haven acted as silencing water around them, while simultaneously dissipating the illusion around their bodies, revealing their costumes in all their glory. That might be a problem, because it sounds like if people are listening from the outside, which they usually do, it would be surprising if there was no laughter, no sound at all, unless the private booth is soundproof, which would make no sense, because they are actually playing the circus. I took the opportunity to look at how much over she had managed to recover. After the disappointment, she was badly out of the run and threw roughly 20%. Hello? As we guessed, and I said it. We will have to make do. So now what? We just wait? He was asked, nothing noticed by walking over to the nearby wall. Using mass sensors to find the wall's internal wiring. He found the spot. They got a square-shaped hole with a winged link. I'm still laughing at the winged link. He then pulled out a small device that attached it to some wires. A moment later, Was was getting by the side of CCT was not being broadcasted into the corner of the hall. Ah, neatly organized, he noted. I will have to command Cyborg for that little feature. But that's good work. I mean, agreed. Looking out to the glass windows of the private booth. Even the mice joined him. And as they watched the circus performance below, they couldn't help but remain apprehensive. I know what you are thinking, but trust me, this is the best option for us. Even the mice to still satisfied. I know, I sighed, and placed the page of her brow. Seeing she was in distress, Aaron placed her hand on Mice's shoulder. The mice kept it back and nodded. And we watched from the corner of the room silently, for continuing to work on the wiring. Once he was finished, he pulled out three discs and placed them onto the desk inside the booth. One press of a button later, the three discs lit up, creating a holographic display, showing all of the various CCTV feeds from all across the area. He showed up anywhere near here, we will see it. Raymond, can you share this? He said before walking over toward the window. Raymond did as instructed, pressing his power to prevent Mumbo from disabling the cameras, and nodded when she was finished. Leaning against the window, he sat down below and narrowed his eyes. Thank you. Now, we just have to wait. Okay, that is a long paragraph, so we are actually ending here because my voice is not perfect at the moment. So this was a short part. Sorry about that. But at this time back. We are preparing to meet Mumbo, if he is even here. We will see. We will see. Good enough. Thank you for being here. I see you in 2 days. Hopefully by then this stupid flowering is gonna go away and I will be able to wait. But until then, good night. Bye bye.